Hello friends and welcome to Gardening with Creekside. Today we've got a fun activity. We are starting a new project. I know, shocker, projects here at the Creekside Nursery. So we've got Jerry with us because he of course is the mastermind behind this latest project. So we're going to go over that, kind of introduce you to that because this is going to be a multi-step process as far as the project. And then you and I are going to go plant the urns at the gate with a beautiful evergreen perennial combination that's going to take us all the way through the fall, winter, and into spring. So I've got some inspiration for you, especially if you have more of a shaded area. This is going to be the perfect combination for you. But first we're going to talk about this new project. We are up here at the entrance right here at Pine Hollow. Of course, Pine Hollow is the road that we live on. And the gate is just over my left shoulder. So what we're going to do, Jerry, would you like to be the man with the plan?
Well, yeah, just what we're going to do today, Jackson and I started on this a while back when we were doing the house project. We had some extra soil and stuff, and we were building up the left side, of this Pine Hollow Drive, the left side towards your mom and dad's. So there's a big dip off up there. Instead of filling all of that in with gravel, we've got a bunch of soil left over from the reno of the retaining wall up at the greenhouse. So we're going to bring all that down there. It's a good time it's dry. It's been dry for a while, so we're going to bring it down, put that in there, and probably get that taken care of today.
Because basically what we're doing is widening this area of Pine Hollow.
Yeah, just widen it, this way. Of Pine Hollow coming down to our house and to our gate. And then we've already done some of that already, like right in this area here. All this gravel here is new. It's come out about 2 or 3, 4 feet already, but it's going to continue this 3 to 4 foot all the way through the mailbox and to the existing gate that's down there. Okay. And so then for some time, we wanted to work on our entrance beds to the left here, now to this left, and then to the right over here to this side of the gate. Mm-hmm. That requires a lot of, probably a couple, 3, 4 tandem loads of topsoil because it dips down right there and it fills up with a lot of water sometimes. So we're going to build all that up along with the mailbox. And then we're going to get rid of those grasses. We're going to come up with a whole new entrance design right there to the right. And then, this area over here on the other side of that dogwood, in that area, the grass has never really grown really well. So we're going to, fill this in also and come up with some plants. Maybe they match a little bit to the other side, but yeah, that's kind of the plan. I don't know that we'll get the mailbox moved today, but we'll see.
No, I don't think so. So basically, because technically, so when you're coming through here where Jerry's standing right now, this really is a one car road lane, right? So you can only get one car through here. So when customers are leaving, either when they're leaving and they see a car coming down the road, somebody's got to stop. And so they have to have it stop for a moment to let each other pass. And so that's why extending the road out, I don't know, that'd probably be what, 5 or 6 feet?
Yeah, and I think we're going to go over just a little bit more. I don't know if they can see that up there where it's kind of out further than this gravel.
Sure.
So we'll probably go at least that far.
Yeah.
And then bring it on down.
Right.
Because Pine Hollow actually ends like somewhere right in here. Yeah. Pine Hollow stops right here. All this here is our property, or your mom and dad's.
Right, right. Yeah. So when it was, quote, developed in the early 70s, this land that we're standing on right now, like Jerry said, on this side of the fence is not part of that development. So
no, and it's not. And then even like this part of Pine Hollow never was really developed until we built our house.
Right, because our neighbors to the right were the last house. Yeah. So there was no road up here until we came along and built our house 22 years ago. Yeah. So we're going to extend the road, bump it out towards my parents' side because that's Obviously, we have permission, so we're not doing this without permission. So we're going to bump this out here, and then because the road will extend here as well, so it's going to go out at least probably another feet. So where the gravel is right now, imagine the gravel going another 3 feet. Well, obviously that means the mailbox has to be moved. So what we're going to do is, not today because I can't imagine this happening today, but what we'll have to end up doing is dig up the mailbox, because of course it's concreted in, dig up the mailbox and then kick it out probably 3 feet, 4 feet. We'll have to know exactly how far out. And so that we'll have where the new road is, we will still have this same distance, so that when we're getting the mail, when our mail delivery person is here, obviously you've got to have that as nice, easy access. So this is going to look the same. It's just going to get bumped out by 3 or 4 feet out this way. And then that's where Jerry's saying all of this behind the mailbox, kind of starting somewhere up in this direction, this will all be a brand new flower bed. So it'll be a massive long flower bed that goes and runs alongside the road, and then we'll kind of swoosh it out and then kind of tie back into the tree line. So all of these 3 grasses, I do not know what kind of grass they are. My mama gave them to me a gazillion years ago. They do okay here. If they got more sun, then all of these little heads would be seeds, and we would have a gazillion grasses everywhere. So it's a pretty grass, but it can be a quite invasive grass here. So we're just going to go ahead and get rid of it, re-landscape all this. We'll save our aspidistra, put that somewhere else. The urns will still stay, I would imagine, but all of this will be landscaped and quite nicely. But yeah, where I'm standing right now, this is a low spot, and so when we get a lot of rain, especially in the wintertime, it just puddles right here. So we'll have to bring in, like Jerry said, 3 or 4 tandem loads of that good fill dirt.
Pretty high,
Yeah.
you know, to keep push back all the water coming off of the road.
Yes.
And then keep it out here, you know, so
the water will come down, it'll
around.
come down here,
Yeah.
and flow out, and
Yeah.
then flow back down
Yeah.
that way to
Yeah.
where we have all the drainage.
Yeah, that's the plan. Yeah.
So then today also what we're going to do is, so Jerry is going to go get in his fun, fancy dancy new cat, and he is going to bring up the soil. And so he will be beginning to build up the road, because before we put gravel, like he said, we don't want to spend, we got free dirt. So we're going to use our good compact clay soil first, and then once it's where he wants it, then we'll bring in the gravel. But we don't, that's just dollar signs as far as the gravel goes. And then,
Yeah, I mean, there's 2 loads just right there.
yeah, you can't even,
That's
we should have owned a quarry.
$1,700 right there.
Yeah. And then I think what we're going to try to do is then maybe he'll get either the small skid steer, or maybe with the big cat. I don't know. But go ahead and just push this soil back, because this is great soil right here. So we're going to push that back, and then it kind of exposed to where we can get to the hard pan and see exactly how big this concrete is around the mailbox. So when we come back the second time around and build up this part, then we'll kind of know what we're dealing with on the mailbox and digging that up, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. We'll just, you know, kind of get going with it and move things around, see how it goes. Things can change.
Things always change. So that is the plan as far as that project. So
Yeah, entrance bed, project day, number 1, who knows when number 2 will be.
that's right. That's right. We have a fun trip coming up, Jerry and I. We get to go down to Alabama on the Gulf Shores. We'll talk more about that later. Business trip. Very excited about this. Okay, so thank you, my love. You can
Fill up the dump truck.
Go do that.
Yep.
All right, so now what are we going to do? Well, what we are going to do is we are going to plant these 2 esplanade urns that we have at the either side of the entrance. So we've got them right here. These are from Unique Stone. They are up on the pedestals. And so this first one, what I did is, you were with us this summer at some point, where Jerry and I got irrigation through here. So we got the drip irrigation in. So that's what the brown tubing is. And yes, Jenny is short. So guess what she did? She brought herself a little stool so we could get up here. So I have gone ahead and emptied out all of the soil out of here. You will notice that I also have the mini. This is the Aquapot Light Insert Mini as far as the size, because yes, there is drip irrigation, but honestly, we need as much help as we can get here. And this is the perfect application to have the mini insert right here. And it did really, really well this summer. So we're gonna leave this in here, and I'm not worried at all about having the Aquapot insert in this urn over the winter. It'll be just fine. So we're going to completely empty the other urn. You want to start with fresh soil. Why do we want to do that? Well, let me introduce you to the roots of the annuals that were in here. So you can see I emptied out all my soil. This was the tube, right? And all these roots were in there. Y'all, it was crazy. So we're going to start with brand new fresh soil. Now, what are we going to plant in here? Well, I am so glad that you asked me, because as you can see, we are completely in the shade. And in the winter time, this is even a more shadier area than it is in the summertime, because you know, summer sun and winter sun can be completely different. So I have to think I need shade plants, right? And so I could put a shrub in there. I could do all sorts of everything in there. And I thought, going back and forth, what could I do? Evergreen shrub, that kind of thing. So I want evergreen interest throughout the fall into winter, going even into spring. Pansies and violas, they don't work. It's too shady. They will not, they just wither away. So I'm not doing that. But if you will remember, when we did the renovation along like the front porch side, all that, everything, I have an urn there that I planted in evergreen shade perennials. And I love that container so much. So this morning, Miss B and I were on for our walk, and my brain just started going. So I have come up with a combo inspired by the combo that I already have at the house. So obviously, they're going to be planted the exact same. So we are going to be using some aspidistra, some cast iron plant. This is a Tiny Tank. Tiny Tank is going to be that nice petite aspidistra. Now, I absolutely could use a taller one, but I only have one regular size, so that's not going to work. But I did have two tiny tanks. If you've never done cast iron plant before, it is a beautiful, very drought tolerant, has to have the shade. They come in a range of colors, as far as like you can get solid green like Tiny Tank, you can get them spotted, you can get them striped, but they are evergreen and they are for the south. They are hardy in zones 7 and above. So they definitely are for the warmer zones. You will see a ton of these like in Charleston, South Carolina, a classic plant for Charleston, South Carolina. Then we're going to do a euchera, and eucheras are great for me in containers. And this is Southern Comfort. Southern Comfort is my all-time favorites. As its name suggests, it does really, really well in the South. The new foliage has this nice, really kind of that coppery color. Then it'll go to a green, lovely, massive, massive leaves on it that have a soft, velvety touch to them. So we've got Southern Comfort. Then we have got a beautiful striped Carex. So Carexes, if you want to call them a grass, there you go. But they too are evergreen, and they have that kind of that weeping habit to them. So if you are familiar, I'm trying to remember if we even know what the name of this one is. Let's see. No, I don't think I have a name for this one. It's one of, I believe it might be one of the Evercolor series, but I'm not quite sure. But it is a beautiful one. Kind of reminds you of monkey grass if you think that, but it's not invasive and crazy like a monkey grass. Evergreen, love this, but it'd be like similar to like Feather Falls, Ribbon Falls, the Everillo, those kinds of things. But this is a beautiful Carex that we're going to use. And then last but not least, I'm going to put in some ivy. Now, I have talked about this many times before. This is a beautiful variegated ivy, and these are little small cups. So I thought one might look a little too dinky, so I'm gonna do 2 for each container, and this will go in the front to give me a trailing habit. So I'm gonna plant 2 together as one in each container. Now, I will go ahead and remind you that English ivy can be extremely invasive, and the only time that I sell it at my nursery is this time of year for container components. And I tell people over and over via video and customers, it is great in containers because it's evergreen and it'll grow and it's beautiful and you get that variegation of that color, and it's fantastic in containers. When you're done with the container, at least around here, I tell people, put it in the trash can. Do not try to compost it. Do not try to put it somewhere in your yard. It will literally overtake your yard in a couple of years because it is crazy grower. So I'm just going to have a word of caution. This is a fantastic container plant. Please do not plant it in your yard because it will literally take your house over in a matter of years. So unless you're ready to absolutely give 100% maintenance and devotion to maintaining this and keeping it exactly where you want it, don't plant it in the ground. All right. So what we're going to do is I've got to empty the other container. I have got my soils with me. I've got a couple of unopened bags, or open bags rather, right here if I need to finish up those. I have got a brand new bag. Use your favorite potting soil. I have got the Proven Winners with me today because that is what I have. Whatever your great favorite potting soil is, use that. Of course, I have got my bag of biotone right here. We always use biotone. It's that starter fertilizer, has that, that great mycorrhiza in it that gives strong, healthy roots to these plants. So we're going to use that. And then, of course, we top dress with some mulch, and I've got the Daddy Pete Soil Enhancer. So what I'm going to do is just go ahead and get everything, all my supplies over there set up, and then I am going to show you step by step how we're going to plant these gorgeous evergreen shade perennials for our fall containers. All right, my friends, so Jerry is just wrapping up, smoothing out some of the mess that he made. We'll go up there and check that out in just a second. Got the urns planted. I didn't talk you through it. I just walked you through it visually so that you could see it. But I am very happy with how they turned out. Full disclosure, if I could have had taller aspidistra, the cast iron plant, and I just am fine with just like the traditional ones, right? I think it would have looked better. It looks a little short to me, maybe not to the scale. The planting is not quite to the scale of the urns in the space, but you know what, y'all? there's grace in gardening, and we're going in the winter months, and so it is fine. It is fine. Does it always have to be perfect and like magazine worthy? No, it does not. So I will be fine, the container will be fine, and they will all grow and be gorgeous. So let me just kind of show you what I mean. So I mean, these urns are huge. So you've got the urns plus the pedestal. So I think there could be something taller here. I was thinking even maybe heading down to the berm and cutting some of the panicle hydrangea blooms and like kind of sticking it in around the back. Tell me what you think. I'm not going to replant this, so we're going to have to work with what we got here. But the colors and the textures, though, are fantastic. The Southern Comfort, love this euchre, y'all. If you can find it, you need to have this one. It is a great one. I have one that's been in a container by the garage in that kind of forest pansy bed, and it's been there for like 3 years. Love it, and then it gets huge. I mean, the container that this one is in is bigger, like wider than this urn. And then of course you got tiny tank, classic evergreen, the carex grass with the foliage that kind of has that draping habit to it, that variegated color, and then the ivy. This will grow, y'all. It will grow, it'll fill in, and as it kind of weighs down, it will come down in here. We do have that drip that I showed you earlier in here, and so I did come back through and top dress with the Daddy Pete. So the Daddy Pete is in there, and then the irrigation line is in there as well. I went ahead and turned it on for about 30 minutes to kind of get them a little bit watered in. The plants themselves were already nice and damp, so we were good to go on that. Not supposed to rain anytime, I think within like the next week or so. So I might turn them on, I don't know, in a couple of days, and then I need to bring up some water and go ahead and fill up the aquapot inserts, so that way they have water that way. And then once I fill up the aquapot inserts, make sure that that soil's watered in all the way down. I really honestly can forget about it. We don't typically run our irrigation in the wintertime because it's so wet, and the soil that I took out was definitely damp. The very top layer was not damp, which is typical for the aquapot insert. It's the main body of the container stays nice and moist, and then like you saw, those roots, my gosh, they went down there big time. So, yep, there's the other one. I know the lighting is not working in my favor right now. Also, look at that. How fun is that? The backside leaf of the Southern Comfort, nice bright pink. So, very happy with those, and they'll do just fine. It'll be fine, people. Brenna, of course, has found the cool spot of the freshly moved soil. So Jerry went ahead and got the big the big cat. I'm used to saying big bobcat. No more bobcats. We only have cats here. And so moved that soil back and kind of give you an idea. So roughly the mailbox is going to be this will be kind of like where the edge or like the gravel will be. So he got rid of that, brought in just a little bit, so that way our poor mail person, until we get this fixed, they won't like freak out on us. So it'll kind of keep it out of the mud a little bit. Again, not supposed to rain anytime soon. But this soil is so good because we have built it up over the years and added and amended and amended and amended. You know, this is not what my natural soil looks like. So I told Jerry, like, please let me keep this soil as a planting bed. And so he just pushed it back some. Obviously, I'm sure we will be adding more to it as well. We were both sure that we had concreted this post in the ground, but I was digging with one of my tools and I have not found concrete yet. Now, it may be down there deeper. Maybe I just need to dig a little bit more, but so far I did not find concrete. And so that would be great if we didn't concrete it in, because then that would certainly would make our life a lot easier. Now, let's go up here and show you, check on the progress from Jerry, because I think he brought like a total of like 6 or 7 loads of dirt. And if you if you have ever questioned whether or not we really have red clay soil, then this'll this will answer it for you. So like Jerry said at the beginning, all this soil was what had to be dug out when they fixed the retaining wall up there at the production greenhouse, and so they stockpiled it. So it had a little bit of gravel in there, but it is, of course, mostly red clay. So it's perfect for right here because it has a little bit of rock in it. So not necessarily would want to use it maybe in the flower bed, but in this area, trying to build up an area nice and compact, then it works out just perfectly. So he will, and Jackson together, I'm sure, will run over this soil many times to get it nice and compact so that it doesn't sink. And so you've just got a compact. That's the beautiful thing. That's the great thing about clay soil, is that once you get it compacted, it's not going anywhere. So got it all nice and filled in this whole area all the way up here. That way it just widens the road so 2 cars can pass through here if need be. So like I said, he is just wrapping up, cleaning up, smoothing out the gravel, getting rid of any clay that was on the road, and just getting this mess cleaned up. So it's always an adventure. Of course, we will keep you updated on the mailbox bed. It's gonna be a minute though before we do that, because like we said earlier, we're going to be out of town for 4 or 5 nights. We are going to Alabama along the Gulf, right there on the water, right there on, I think between the Gulf and the bay, the Mobile Bay, I believe. I'm not 100% up on my geography of Alabama, but I'm pretty sure it's the Mobile Bay. And so we'll tell you more about that later. But I think we're gonna film a video or 2 while we're down there, so it's gonna be fun. So we are super excited about that. So all that to say is this with the mailbox, we're gonna put a little bit of a pin in that because now you never know. Jerry could get a wild hair and he's like, hey, let's do it this week. You never know. It happens quite regularly around here. But I'm gonna say we're not gonna touch this again until we get back from Alabama, but we'll see. All that to say, if you have found this fun, informative, inspirational, we would love it if you would join the Creekside family and subscribe. That way you don't miss those 5 videos that we do each and every week. It's completely free to subscribe. All it does is it lets you know when we have posted those videos. You hit the little bell, turn on your notifications, and you'll get a little notification. Gardening with Creekside has posted a video. And then you can come over and you can join us and you can see all the fun shenanigans and the craziness that we get into. Because the growing season may be winding down, but that does not stop us. We're going now into project mode and production mode. So things never stop at Creekside, ever. The only time things really stop is when it snows. This is why Jenny loves a good snow day, because everything shuts down. And I noticed I said snow day, not snow week, not snow month, snow day, right? So anyway, y'all, clearly it's lunchtime. Clearly I'm getting a little loopy out of here and in my brain. So I'm going to get off. I will see you next time on Gardening with Creekside. Y'all have a great day. Bye, friends.